Let's get into Invent a Fish 6, shall we? So, if you don't know how this works, basically, I have tasked my viewers with inventing their own fish. I got over 200 submissions this time in about the course of a week, and now I had to go through all of them and choose some awards, and then also the 16 best fish that were invented by my viewers, whether it be the best art, the best adaptation, the best, idea or creative sense of mind. And from here on out, it is up to you guys. I will show you the top 16 that I have chosen, and you will be voting bracket format, single elimination, all the way down to the final match, where a race between two marbles will decide the winner of the competition. Let's begin with the awards before we get into the top 16 fish. So the first thing that I always look at is most effort. And this was a particularly difficult category this year. I don't know why I said this year. I'm talking like I'm presenting the Oscars. This was a particularly difficult category this time around. There was a 28-page presentation. Now, each page was a little bit of low effort, but there was a 28-page presentation, okay? There were multiple 20-ish pages of presentation. There were multiple people who submitted multiple high-quality art. So for most effort, I just went for the one that put a lot of effort in and that I liked, because actually measuring who put the most time and effort in is a bit difficult. So I went with this. These are the blimp whales. It's basically a bunch of different variations. They reinvented fish as a whole and made entirely new categorizations of these fish. And there's complete descriptions, range maps in their world that they made, and all of that things combined on this giant page. And if you thought that wasn't enough, there's an entire descriptory page of the family. So it's a family of fish, I guess, and all of the new fish within it and the things that make them unique and so forth. So I gave this the most effort award because this was clearly an absurd amount of effort. Like I said, there were some really big presentations. There were a lot of really good submissions. It's hard to choose. Don't get mad at me if you put a ton of effort in. I'm sorry. Only so many people can make it. All right. Then we have my favorite. I'm sure if you look through the submissions, no one's going to be surprised. My favorite was a shiner. I love shiners. The Lancian shiner. So basically, this was a extremely common species. This is a real fish that actually existed. It's a very common type of shiner that existed back when, the United States looked like this and had a giant river basin running through it. And it's sort of like a mixture of speculative evolution and then like fossil drawings. And so they took the fossils that do exist of this small but really abundant fish, think like the silver side, like the things that are everywhere in the water nowadays, and made what they thought it would look like. And I love like real speculative evolution. I think that's so cool. It's such an awesome thing to I love taking fossils and making them into real fish, and I love the idea of speculating about them. It's so cool. So this was my favorite by far. And then we have our honorable mentions. So these were super funny or cute or good or really cool or whatever, but didn't make it. So it's just two submissions that are barely not in the top 16, If one of the two in the top 16 had, not gotten in there. And the first is the Woonch Catfish King. So this is the Woonch Catfish King. There was a lot of effort. This is the 28-page one I was talking about. So there's, skills with various things, and each page is fairly low effort, but when you take the fact that there are 28 pages involved in this catfish, there's numbers. Okay, those are just the regular numbers, but they do have their own alphabet. There's movie posters made with catfish. There's a healthcare meme. You've got a bad case of fin rot. You've got 3 weeks to live. Listen, there's a lot going on. Yeah, there's a lot going on in that one. So that was an honorable mention. I didn't include it in the top 16, but it was pretty good. And then the other honorable mention is the eclipselet shark. If you know the epaulet shark, this is a special type. Under the light of an eclipse, it's a special type of epaulet shark. This was a pretty cool submission, but it didn't have a lot going on or a crazy unique adaptation or anything, so it just barely didn't make the top 16, but it was very beautiful. And with that, we have the time to present the top 16 fish. So these are the 16 fish that made it into the cut, and they will be entered into a bracket where you guys will vote one-on-one who gets to move on to the next round until we decide who is going to win the competition. All right. The first one is Mortuum ospitem. This is the zombie eel, puppet eel, or hellmouth that has multiple common names. And as you can see, this drawing is awesome. Look at this drawing. I mean, I love anatomical drawings, but like, I love the sketching style and the anatomical style of all this. Talking about that, you know, it's got keratin armor, filaments, gill slits, worm-filled body. I don't really know what that means. Dark coloring for the light stealth. It's a very cool looking, everyone getting ads is so funny. Second fish, of course, we already talked about it. Lancian Shiner. Let's be real. There was no way that this was not getting in. It's my favorite. I will say my favorite has never won a competition. I have yet to choose a favorite fish, that favorite submission, and have it win a competition. So I'm hoping this time it'll win. Then we've got the Antilles Torrent Goby. This is a sort of unique art style. I really like this like on paper art style. Most people do these really nice digital drawings, but I really love this Mud Skipper vibe. They've got sort of a Mud Skipper vibe, but it's pretty cool. Yeah, the mohawks on them. They do look like Mud Skippers. They're gobies. They're so cute. Then we've got another like speculative evolution, but this is a real future speculative evolution. This is the salmonids of future Antarctica. So basically the salmon and trout of future Antarctica. So basically this person hypothesized what Antarctica will look like as the glaciers melt, and hypothesized multiple species of fish with Latin names and drawings and everything that will come to exist as, you know, Antarctica progresses through time. So this is super cool. I really like this one. This is like probably my second favorite. This was very close to being my favorite, but I'm a little biased towards shiners. Just a warning, or like a recommendation. If you want to compete and invent a fish and you make a shiner evolution that is even decent, I'll probably include it. I'm very biased towards shiners. But yeah, this one's really cool. All right, then we've got Bjorn's Brittle Star, which I really liked because this is an explanation for krakens. So this is a brittle star, a massive brittle star. That's a blue whale, by the way, that lives at the bottom of the ocean and turns upside down and grabs boats. So it looks like a kraken, but all it is a brittle sea star. Isn't that so awesome? It's a starfish. This is like, I've never seen this concept before, that the kraken was a starfish all along. Massive is underselling it. Yeah, it's quite big. So it's basically just a heavily evolved brittle star. Yes, I know that's not a fish. Sometimes I involve things that are not fish. Sometimes I involve not fish. Sometimes I look at something and I'm like if someone submits a crocodile, I usually don't include that in the competition because, like, come on. But like a brittle star that serves this purpose as the kraken, that's pretty dope. Then we've got our most effort submission. I don't know which one you're voting for. I guess you're just voting for this family of fishes. Have fun with that. Then we've got the clotfish. This one didn't have a lot in the submission, but I liked it a lot. It's a tiny parasite that crawls into the pores and lives in the host's body. So they've got acid-resistant body and they can live without water. They're just like tiny little blood clot fish that crawl into your veins. They're cute and also horrifying, but I do love this. Like, this drawing is, I love these simplistic, really cool ones. Then we've got the fire shark. This is just a shark that people are chilling with. Bottom feeders. They burrow, they make tunnels and burrows in the ground, which is pretty cool. And they can see in the dark. So, you know, tunneling fire sharks, pretty dope. Got the false orca shark, which looks like an orca whale until you look slightly closer and it looks more like a carpet shark, because it's a bottom feeding carpet shark that pretends to be an orca. And it's, you know, about the same size as an orca. So things leave them alone because they're orcas. They're actually like, looks like they're all over the world, pretty much along the equator and above. Pretty cool. Then we've got another one of my favorites. This is such a cool idea. This is a lily mimic. So it's not, it looks like a flatfish. It's not a flatfish, but it's like a flatfish that sits on the surface and looks like a lily pad. So frogs go to land on it and then it eats the frogs that land on it. That's just such an interesting and amazing idea. Like, I would have never thought of something like this, but this is one of those ones where it's like, the art is good. It's not amazing. It has its style. But what is amazing about this is the idea. Like, this is such a clever idea to have a lily pad mimic flatfish that eats frogs. Then we've got holotype. I don't even know. I don't even want to talk about it. This is Val's submission. Val goes crazy when Val submits. Val has been in like the top 2 multiple times now, I believe. Yeah, Evangelion ass fish. This is basically an Evangelion boss. Like, Shinji's gonna have to get in the mech and fight this thing. You've got like the encounter when it just destroys the ship with sonic waves. These 2 videos that for whatever reason are not loading are like audio bites. So Val made an entire encounter, so you play like the videos and it's the people screaming and like talking on the radio and everything like that, and you hear the sonic waves exploding the ship and all that stuff. And then you've got this whole amazing description up here, and this, by the way, was a juvenile apparently, so not even an adult. So yeah, this is a ridiculous Evangelion-esque boss, which is pretty dope. Sorry the videos can't be played. I don't know why I couldn't get them to embed. Actually, you know what? I can probably play them from my computer, huh? All right, here's number 1.
This is researcher John Roberts. Dr. Basara has asked us to keep a log for this expedition. I'll be diving down. It
sounds like the guy who farts on his roommate's door.
That we finally got the funding for. Damn, it's cold.
Oh.
We're in the Antarctic. We've been recently...
It's just audio.
Well, not quite recently, but we finally figured out the source of some interesting signals coming from the Antarctic. We'll be diving below. Well, I'll be diving below. The others will be watching, but...
Oof. This is a first take.
Things are... This is going to be a little dangerous, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, I only heard the second recording. The second recording was much better. That was a little bit... I don't know. Okay, let's try that. Let's do the second recording.
Intimidation display. Backing up. Shit, I hit the lights. Oh, that's not good. I turned on the lights and it's getting close. It's getting closer. It's opening its mouth wider. What the hell is it doing?
Great documentation. Jesus. So that's this fish. It comes with recordings, then 20 seconds of silence at the end. Thinking of him sitting in his room, Val sitting in his room going, just to edit the thing on top later is really funny. But yeah, very impressive submission as always. And then we have basically one of these in every competition. We've got a sea serpent S fish mimic, just a very good drawing. Usually we have one of these in every competition where someone just really well draws like a sea serpent, dragon, fish type thing. This one's just called the sea serpent. Then we've got the chisel fish. This one is horrifying to think about. It's got claws on its wings, on its stomach, and on its face. It attaches to the side of like a fish or whale or something, and then drags down it, pulling off the skin to eat the skin. Stop saying smash. This is horrifying. I almost didn't include this because of how disgusting the image is. It's worse than a cookie cutter shark. It's like nails on chalkboard down your skin. It's a cool adaptation, though I don't think skin has much good nutrients in it, but oh well. Then we've got Captain Stroon's submission. Captain Stroon almost always making the top 16. Actually, I think Captain Stroon has always made the top 16 with the Azarian lamp suckers. And I'm sure you guys will love these because they are glow-in-the-dark lump suckers. They are adorable little lump suckers. I don't know. There's no explanation of what the hell they're riding on here, by the way. What is this thing? But the lamp suckers are adorable, and I'm sure you guys will love them. They are so silly. Then we've got the river pirog. Again, you draw any realistic looking fish. So this is in a genus Osteoglossum that actually exists with what arowana and not arapaima, but arowana, I believe in its genus. So it's like a cool arowana adaptation. I love realistic looking fish that are just adapted in a cool way. So we've got that one. And I believe this is the last one. This is number 16, the Sakiru. I don't know. I think that's how you are meant to pronounce it. Pretty cool. It's got 2 jaws, so it can open up its jaw once and then open up its jaw again. So it's got a top jaw and a bottom jaw, which is pretty cool. Deadly predator. All right. So now that we have determined our top 16, it's time to start determining who goes home and who stays. So we have our bracket here. They have been randomly seated. Let's begin with our first round, being the river pirog versus the chiselfish. Poll is on screen. You're now voting. Let me remind you who you are voting for. You are voting for the river pirog, this Osteoglossum arowana type mimic, versus the chiselfish, which slides down flesh and eats it, somehow surviving off of scraping the skin off of things. So we've got a cool, realistic looking fish versus this horrifying thing. How does it even, like, what is the point in this? Does it even eat the skin that comes off from the wing? That doesn't, it's just, at that point, it's just sadistic. It's just doing it for fun. It's not even gonna, like, what is it gonna, how is it gonna, that's just because it's evil? Like, it can't eat this. This, I understand, it goes into its mouth, but this part, it's just scraping off for the fuck of it. All right, looks like the river pirog has won this one, chat. Chiselfish is pretty cool, but, you know, native fish wins out in this one. Congratulations to the chiselfish for making the top 16. Shout out to Amity G. We will see you next time. This reminds me that I am going to, after the 8th Invent-A-Fish, now this is only the 6th Invent-A-Fish, so we have 2 more Invent-A-Fishes to go. But if you want the amazing prize, you should consider trying to win the next 2 Invent-A-Fishes, because after the 8th, we're going to do a Champion of Champions Invent-A-Fish, a competition between the 8 winners of the first 8 Invent-A-Fish competitions, and the winner of that competition will get to choose a video concept that I will have to make to the best of my ability. So they can choose the dumbest video concept they can think of, as long as it's fish related and, you know, appropriate, and I will make a video on that concept. So that, you know, so far there are 5 winners already entered. Today we're going to decide a 6th winner, and then Invent-A-Fish 7, Invent-A-Fish 8 will decide the last 2. Zach, you're going too far. Oh, it's going to be amazing. Champion of Champions event. Next up, we've got the sea serpent versus the clotfish. Let me remind you who you are voting for. Here is the sea serpent, fish-like, dragon-like sea serpent type thing, versus the little adorable clotfish, though there is not a ton of information on this fish. It is cute. An unfortunate opponent for sea serpent is right, because the sea serpent is being defeated by the clotfish. All right, well, the sea serpent is a obviously very impressive art. Thank you, Cobalt Strike, for participating. But the clotfish will be moving on to the next round, as it is adorable and this drawing is really good. So far, you guys are voting how I would have voted. Goby versus limp whales. All right, so to remind you who those are, we have the torrent goby, which is this guy here, torrent gobies, versus the blimp whales, which are this new family of cute fish, sort of flop-esque. If I had to say, they are sort of flop-esque. They're no flop. Listen, nobody's a flop, but they are flop-esque. This is a unique art style we don't get very often in the competition. Sly-bearded vulture tends to submit like 5-ish submissions every competition, and they make it into the top 16 usually, because this is such a nice, unique art style, and they do such an amazing job with it. Wow. It is rare that the cute thing does not win in democratic fish competition votes, but that is how it is going this time. Thank you for the submission, Scribbly Doodle 536. Unfortunately, you have been knocked out in favor of Sly-bearded vultures, Goby Antilles torrent goby. All right. Oh, this is a tough one. All right, now we've got I have a feeling the cute one's gonna win this one, though. Yeah, you think you're above that as a chat, just voting for the cute one? All right, let's see, Sunday. Let's see if you're really above that as a chat. We've got the lamp suckers versus the sakuru. Sakuru. So, as a reminder, sakuru is this lance double-jawed fish facing off against the Azarian lamp suckers. Sunday saying in chat, they're so cute, and voting for the lamp suckers less than 30 seconds after saying that we are above voting for the cute thing as a chat. Wow. It does seem like the Sakadu is going to win. I am surprised. Captain Stroon, by the way, usually draws like sea serpent-esque things. In previous competitions, I think he's always drawn sea serpent-esque things. And this time around, I think he really wanted to win a competition, so he decided to go with something on the cute side to try to win you guys over. But it seems like it might be backfiring because the more, I don't know, I guess you could say serious submission seems to be winning out here over the lamp suckers. He saw Flop and said, fuck it. Captain Stroon has submitted amazing submissions to every competition, but has yet to win one. I mean, he creates, you can tell just by this art, he creates amazing art, but he has yet to win a competition. And it seems like he chose, you know, cuteness to try and win this competition. And it'll move him on to the next round. Lamp suckers are going to take on the Sakuru. Unfortunately, I'm glad I don't have to say that name anymore because it was too difficult and I feel like I was mispronouncing it every time. So the Azarian lamp suckers are going to move on. All right. Next up, we have Mortuum Hospitum versus the Lancian Shiner. Oh no, I can't look. My boy's probably gonna get massacred. So the Mortuum Hospitum is this guy, the cool anatomical drawing, the zombie eel with all of these interesting anatomical adaptations. Pretty sure it was just Sekiro, but with an an at the start. No, the pronunciation said ooh. And then versus the Lancian Shiner, my favorite pick. Who got eliminated? Did I already delete it? Oh, Sekiro. Thank you, Brook3 Dejot, for competing. Trying to thank everyone and then remove the slide so that we can slowly watch it whittle down, you know? Wow, my poor boy. My beautiful Lancian Shiner. Dynamo Terror, I want you to know that if you make similar things to this, even like if you do like extinct Nitropus species or something like that, you'll always make the top 16. This is amazing, and I will always include it in the top 16 as long as I am AVNJ and around to vote. After all, AVNJ is a title, not a person. So when I pass on, the next AVNJ will take over. But if you make things like this, I will always love them. But unfortunately, the people are in favor of the cool anatomical fish. So thank you for participating, Dynamo. Congratulations to Mortuum Hospitum. All right, next up we have, oh god. Oh, y'all really trying to challenge my Latin, aren't you? I'm just gonna call it the Sonic Boom Boom Fish. It's been too long since I've studied Latin, all right? Bjorn's Star. This is a tough one. So we've got the Boom Boom Sonic Fish, which is Chanomarina Melodia. It's actually not that bad. Chanomarina Melodia versus the Brittle Star, the explanation for sea serpents reaching from the bottom for the fish. So keep in mind this had those audio recordings that I played. I played them already. You don't need to listen to them. Of that fish just absolutely obliterating, just ass blasting that ship and the dude dying, and this cool, amazing drawing and the encounter and so forth. Versus this 3-part about the Bjorn's Brittle Star and how it crawls on the seafloor and reaches up and grabs ships to eat. Loudfish is a lot more creative. Really? I feel like the concept of a creature that sends sonic, maybe you guys haven't watched much mech anime, but I feel like this concept is really common, of like something that emits a large sound wave to destroy things. Wait, did I not delete the lamps? Oh no, the lamp sucker's fine, never mind. They're still in. This I think is really cool. The idea of taking a Kraken and, adapting as a Brittle Star. But you guys have, yeah, it is really well done. Well, congrats to, or sorry to King of Beasts. This is a very well done. I guess it's unfortunate that you had to go against the Sonic Boom Boom fish in the first round. Sonic Boom Boom fish will be moving on. All right, next up, I am not going to say anything for which side, but I have a feeling this is going to be a blowout. We have the Lily Mimic versus the Fire Shark. Fire Shark, remember the cute sharks that dig tunnels underground and see in the dark and so forth, versus the flatfish-esque fish. I know it's not technically a flatfish, it's related to a discus, but it looks flatfish-esque. That sits on the surface and eats frogs. Chat, we gotta challenge his expectations. You can say that all you want, but everyone's gonna vote for the Lily Mimic. Actually, Fire Shark's holding on better than I expected. I personally love frogs whenever it won. This is way closer than I expected. I actually thought the Lily Mimic was going to just destroy. All right, but it does seem like the Lily Mimic is going to win. So thank you, Jammer Spy Pajamas. Jammer's Pajamas. I can't read, sorry. Thank you for participating. Shout out to the Lily Mimic. It was closer than I expected because I really like the Lily Mimic. All of these have been very close. There have been no real blowouts so far, which is interesting. Maybe this one will be a blowout. We have Salmonids of Future Antarctica versus Orca Shark. So these are, remember, the carpet sharks, the false orca shark related to the carpet shark, versus the 3 new salmon-esque fish of a future hypothetical Antarctica. Yeah. This one makes more sense to be a blowout. I mean, this is just so amazing conceptually. I would not be upset at all if this won the entire competition. I wish I could pick both. I know, me too. But unfortunately, we are running a competition here. And that's why I'm glad that I don't have to decide. You guys can decide, and I go, up, democracy. And it is definitely a cool concept to imitate an orca. But I mean, I don't know, 3 unique species, especially this grayling-inspired species here, the Valholics. That's pretty cool. Yeah, it's a bit of a blowout, but still a good effort by the orca shark. Thank you, Camilliar, for submitting. We are on to round 2. There are now 8 fish left in the competition, and it's going to get a little bit harder to choose every time because the fish are getting better and better. The river pirog versus the clotfish. Let the games begin. River pirog being this osteoglossiform-esque fish fighting against the clotfish, which is very tiny and cute and swims into your pores. I feel bad, like it feels like whatever I leave the screen on, I'm trying to be biased towards. Like I'm like, oh guys, vote River pirog. Oh guys, vote clotfish. But I have to leave the screen on something. I can't just do this the whole time. That's a close one. All right, when we reach 65 votes, we'll end it. So we have 8 votes to go. 8 more people vote. 6 more people vote. It's looking in favor of clotfish. We need 6 more voters. 4 more voters. You haven't voted yet. Now is your time. 3 more voters. 1 more. Oh, it's over. Clotfish has won the competition. Thank you for participating, the cool novice. I loved your river pirog. I would have voted for it over the clotfish 100%, but these people are weak to cute things. What can I say? My viewers are addicted to cuteness. Next up, oh, this is a tough one. I mean, they should all be tough at this point in the competition. We've got the goby versus the lampsuckers. Oh man, if lampsuckers win this, it's going to be clotfish versus lampsuckers. We don't even need to think about that. So we've got the Antilles Torrent Goby, the cool, unique, colored pencil-esque art style of these mudskipper looking gobies, versus the lampsuckers, the very adorable little clinging guys, lumpsuckers, but with light coming out of them. We gotta make the 2 cute fish fight. It would be an interesting competition between the 2 cute fish. It's certainly a significantly worse adaptation, though. They act as the bigger fish's lure and try to get a piece of the prey their light attracts. They're just going to also attract bigger fish. I don't know. The adaptation isn't the best, but they sure are cute. And they're going against this goby. Wow, we are at 70 votes. So I think it's a decently strong win for the Goby here, which is unfortunate. Sorry to the lamp suckers, Captain Stroon. I love all of your submissions.
Kill the clot fish.
I appreciate every submission you have ever submitted. Seems like going cute was not the way this time. You usually make like top 4 by going with some pretty epic drawings, so maybe that's the strategy going forward. Who knows? You do you, though. If you like drawing cute stuff, I'm sure if you come up with a good one, chat'll vote with you. It's interesting, we have a non-digital drawing in the top 4. That's pretty cool. Oh, great. Now we've got the battle of the fun-to-say Latin names. We've got Mortuum Ospitem versus Sonic Boom Boom. This guy, Sonic Boom Boom Fish, with the audio records and the encounter and so forth, versus the anatomical S triangle. We'll just call it the Shinji fish. Yeah, the Evangelion fish. Boom Boom lead sick these fish. It does have a lead sick these vibe, other than the fact that, you know, it emits sonic waves like one of the gods in Evangelion. This is another pretty close one. It does seem to be in favor of the Sonic Boom Boom fish, though. Channel Morania Melodia. Alright. Seems that is how it's going to end. Congratulations to the Sonic Boom Boom fish. Thank you for participating, iTuvXED. That is a very good drawing. I think if you had a bit more like detail, like the entire fish, it might have done a little bit better. But that is an unfortunate competition. And then there were 5. Oh, this one's messed up. I don't even know what I would vote in this one. All right, you guys now have to pick between the future salmon versus the lily mimic. This is a tough competition. I don't even know what I would vote here. So you've got the salmonids of future Antarctica versus the lily pad mimic fish that eats the frogs. Oh, I thought this was going to be more difficult. You guys don't seem to think this is difficult at all. Huh. Man, the salmon is the only fish which has blown out the competition, and it's done it twice now. That's incredible. Are the salmon just on the straight path to winning the entire competition? Is it that good? Everyone likes it that much? Everyone's voting with it. I think this person, Neat2605, is actually in chat right now. So if you love the salmon, you can @ them and tell them that you love the salmon. Interesting. Yeah, they're blowing out the competition. Don't even need to let it go. All right, congratulations to Neat. Thank you for your submission, The Rat King. It was a very good. I really love this idea. I think I would probably vote for the salmon myself as well. I mean, it's just such a good concept and drawing. All right, next up, we are down to our final 4. Now, these are the last 2 that you guys get to decide. If you didn't remember, the final winner is decided completely randomly by a marble race. So these are the last 2 that you guys get to vote on, and then we are merely spectators to a battle of chance. So, our competition is between, first of all, the clotfish, which has somehow made it this far despite having the least information and kind of the least illustrations of any of the submissions in the top 16, but for some reason has a cult behind it, facing off against the Goby, a unique art style that Sly-Bearded Vulture usually submits to these competitions. Let the games begin. Will the Clotfish army outnumber the Goby lovers? At the moment, it's seeming like they're getting a bit overwhelmed. All right, well, the Clotfish army seems to be being defeated here by the Goby, which is interesting. I think this might be the first time we've had a non-digital drawing in the top
Down with
2.
the clotfish.
This is the furthest that I think a non-digital drawing has ever made it. This is extremely impressive. People usually vote for these, digital drawings because they tend to look more clean, and people like that. Thank you, Toonskin KT. I have no idea how you got this far in the first place. Clearly drawing cute in the right way gets a cult behind you, but the Clotfish has been eliminated. All right, the last one that you guys get to vote on here, chat. This is a tough one. We've got Sonic Boom Boom Fish versus Salmon of Future Antarctica. This is a pretty tough one. We've got our Evangelion-esque fish emitting sonic booms with audio recordings from the captain on ship getting destroyed by this creature, versus Antarctica in the future and the salmons within it. This is interesting. It seems like the salmon are blown out the entire competition. They've had more than 65% against all 3 opponents so far. This is impressive. Yeah, wow. The salmon have made it to the finals without ever being within like 30% of their opponent. That's incredibly impressive. Thank you, Val, for the submission. You usually do quite well. But we are down to our final 2, which is Neat 2605 versus Sly Bearded Vulture. Now, I have a feeling that if I were to run this poll right now, in fact, this will not decide the competition. Let's just do it out of theory. Who would win? Not sure, but I have a feeling the salmon would win this poll pretty easily. Let's just take a look. Unfortunately, as you may know if you've ever watched an Invent a Fish before, you don't get to decide. Chat, you don't decide the winner of the competition. You merely decide the final 2. And the winner will be decided by a race between marbles. So although you guys are voting over 60% in favor of the salmon of future Antarctica, they could still lose by complete chance to this goby. Let's get set up, I guess. Wait, you guys can vote for the map? Oh, you guys can vote for the map. Type a number. Oh, never mind. The bracket? That's a pretty good... Oh, it's just because it's the number 69. Okay, everyone's voting for 69. I thought you guys were voting it because it's called the bracket, and we just did a bracket, and it would be, like, kind of clever to... No, but it's just because it's numbers. Okay. Yeah, okay. I get it. We'll do the bracket. Jesus. Okay. My bad for thinking you guys had some creative taste. If you type !boost and then the name of the one you want to win, they will go faster. There's the boosts. God, I love gaslighting people. Goby in the lead right from the start. It is going to be hard to pass them. It's really these corners, the only place where you can get any sort of semblance of a lead. By taking a tighter line, this salmon here might be getting a better chance, but it is 3 gobies led by 3 salmon right now. They've done lap number 1. A goby has infiltrated its way into number 6, so it is possible for things to change position in the race. It's just these corners. You just got to take them a little bit tighter to gain a bit of a lead, but that corner seems a bit intense. But yet, none of the placements have changed. Actually, 9 and 10 are changing back and forth. What we should do is the highest placing team. Uh-oh, that goby just got a huge lead. He's got a big boost of speed. Oh, it's going to be tough to pass that goby. I don't know why y'all are saying this map stinks. I gave you the chance to vote for whatever map you wanted. I don't know, if enough people type !boost salmon, they might still be able to win the competition. Just not many people are pressing !boost salmon. Well, now there's 4 gobies in the lead. We're gonna need some big boosters coming in. It's the final lap. Final lap will be done in complete silence and respect for the competitors, and not because the song was too short for the map choice. As we watch them round the second to last bend, 4 gobies in the lead, followed by 5 salmon, followed by a final goby. Our winner of Invent a Fish 6 is the goby. Congratulations to the goby. This is how it is with RNG, despite the fact that 60% of you would have voted for the salmon. The actual winner of Invent a Fish 6 is the goby. GG's, everybody. Traditional art beats digital art, I will say. This is definitely the first time a non-digital art competition has won a competition, which is quite impressive. Shout out to Sly Bearded Vulture. They have submitted a lot of things in a lot of competitions. Sly Bearded Vulture, I will add you on Discord to find out what merch you would like. So give me your PayPal and so forth. Oh, Sly Bearded Vulture already accepted the friend request. I wonder if they are watching the stream and realize that they just won the competition. or if they are confused as to why I have added them as a friend on Discord. Oh. But you won the competition. You beat out a bunch of people. Should I give it to the salmon? I mean, congratulations for winning. You do get a special role. You get a special role in the Discord. That's pretty cool. Give it to Neat. He's a very good personal friend of mine. All right. I guess Neat2605, the inventor of the salmon, second place in the competition, will be taking home the merch. So someone gets merch, because Sly-Bearded Vulture did not want the merch. And that is not because the merch is low quality. That is simply a matter of them being nice. We'll go with that. The merch is in fact too good for me. It is so high quality. Wow, not a paid actor. True and real statement by an actual enjoyer of AVNJ. You should buy the merch. All right, let's... Congratulations again, Sly-Bearded Vulture. Good job.